is good. Oh, there it is.
I gotta get my sponsorships up like you.
Say what?
I gotta get my sponsorships up like you.
I don't know, sweetie. Nothing for now. Just bring me another bottle of water. Oh, I don't care. Whatever y'all want to get. Hey, Josh, have you got a chance to see any of the teams from up here?
Not really. I mean, I might know a couple players here and there, but yeah,
I'm pretty much the same way about the South, except for I think I've seen Central, Zachary, North Side, South Side, John Curtis, like the bigger schools, but some of the other ones I haven't got a chance to check out any of them. So I'm gonna probably be pushing the teams from the north.
All right, guys, man. Appreciate everybody for jumping on with us, man. About to go ahead and kick things off. Most of you guys know we have been covering girls basketball for 5 years now. Now we're switching over to LBR, Louisiana Basketball Rankings, covering all things boys and girls, man. And with that, just like when we first started this, man, we needed a lot of help to kind of get that thing going. But if you are tuning in, man, this is for the boys who did the girls stream earlier. If you're looking for that one, it's on our Facebook page as well as YouTube. For the next probably hour and a half or so, we'll be talking all things boys high school basketball here, man. Got some special guests we want to introduce. As you see there on the graphic there, Mr. Donald Tatum from Prep Hoops and Mr. Josh Preston. All things sports in the South New Orleans, man, with Mr. Preston, man. We're excited to have these guys on, man. We're going to go ahead and allow them to introduce themselves, man. Donald, I'll let you take the floor first, man. As you been a special guest of the North, man. You know we got to be a little courteous of our Northern folks, man. Let them know, man, about Prep Hoops. You know, a lot of people maybe that are tuned in don't know about Prep Hoops. Talk about the opportunities that they have there.
All right, so my name is Donald Tatum. Everybody just calls me Tatum. I am a scout for Prep Hoops. The Prep Hoops platform is a really good platform for players that want to be evaluated, have write-ups done about them. And it's a really good platform because it has a lot of information about the recruiting process. Another thing about the Prep Hoops platform is there's a lot of really good resources on there, not just for players, but also for parents. It's a really good resource for coaches as well. I think we have over 1,500 coaches on the Prep Hoops platform that jump in and jump out to check and see what's being written about players that they may or may not be looking at. So I've been with Prep Hoops since October. I think it's an amazing platform. I would encourage parents to sign up for the Prep Hoops platform. I would encourage coaches to sign up for the Prep Hoops platform. I would encourage players to sign up for the Prep Hoops platform because as you are trying to build your name out there as a prospect, I think it looks really good if you have something that's been written about you and you have it on your page so a coach can actually stop and take a look and see what someone is written about you that's had eyes on you. And the good thing about Prep Hoops is, I try to get players when they're young, so I'm looking for 28s and 29s, but it's a good thing when you can write about a kid over the course of 4 years and coaches that may be tracking you, they can track your growth.
Look, man, let them know where can they find you with your social media and stuff like that if anyone wants to kind of follow up with you.
Okay. So my Instagram is Donald.Tatum73 and my Twitter is CPT_Tatum. Yeah, CPT_Tatum.
Cool. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for jumping on, man. I'll throw those into the comments as well.
Yes, sir.
If only we had a Josh Preston at every corner of the state, man, we wouldn't even need Prep Hoops, man. But thankfully, we got our man Josh Preston, man, holding it down here in New Orleans and in the South, man. Josh, appreciate you for joining us, man. Same thing, man. For people that haven't seen, the man behind the camera, man, kind of explain to people, introduce yourself, man, and where can they find your stuff?
I don't have too much going on, man. Just it's a Josh Preston YouTube channel. It's Josh Preston's Video Vault, but if you just search Josh Preston on YouTube, it'll probably pop up. I've been covering and shooting games on my own since probably like 2017, 2018 now. The channel's getting, I think, close to 20,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, that'd be great. Go ahead and check it out. And I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok a little bit. It's J Preston Sports for everything. And I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. Guys, for sure, man. I'm looking at him right now. He's at 19,000 subscribers, man. Let's do what we can, man. Josh Preston's Video Vault, YouTube. If you haven't already, man, take a second, man. Pause the video. Come back to it, man. Make sure you subscribe to him, man. He does a fantastic job of covering all of Louisiana, really, but really the South in multiple sports, not just basketball, man. So definitely a great person to be following. But, man, we're here for playoffs, man. It's that time of year, playoff basketball, man. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it, man. This is kind of the real exciting time of year. What are your thoughts, guys? We'll get it started. First half of the bracket. Jumping right into it, Division I, non-select, top half of the bracket. Tatum, we're going to lead it off with you, man. What you like here, man? Me and Coach Kendrick, we like to say the Waspman Invitational, whenever it comes down to it. Is this the Zachary Invitational on this side, on the boys' side, man? What's your thoughts?
So this side of the bracket, the team that's really dangerous is Ouachita Parish. Yeah. Ouachita Parish is a dangerous team because they really have it all. So they have a freshman phenom in Aaron Ford. They have really good older leadership in Zion Hunter, Taurus Cooks, Keon Ellis, who was a transfer from Rayville. I watched them beat Central in December. And if Ouachita Parish gets going, I think they could be the team that Zachary sees coming out of that bracket. Another team that's really dangerous is West Monroe. West Monroe played the first half of their season without one of their key players, but he came back in January. He got off to a bit of a slow start, but West Monroe is another team that's going to be dangerous. And anybody that has to come up here to the north and try to win a game, I think it's going to be really tough. Really tough.
Josh, man, same kind of concept with you, man. I saw you kind of nodding your head with the Ouachita and everything, man. What's your thoughts here on the top half of this bracket? You see any upsets or anything that could kind of give Zachary some woes?
Yeah, like you said, Washington. I'm a little bit familiar with them. I saw him over the summer, and I've seen Darren Ford, the freshman, a lot. That's Karl Malone's grandson, and he can really go. Like I've been seeing him kind of posting his numbers, and he's pretty consistent too. So yeah, I think I'm with Tatum now. I think they're kind of the team to watch out for. But Zachary, I've seen him a good handful of times, and they're just a real tough team. Xavier Ferguson, definitely one of the top seniors in the state. I saw him put up 30 against Shaw. They ended up losing, but it was still a really impressive performance. And they got Ian Edmond is a kid I like too from Zachary. He's a 2027 kid, and he hit a big shot against Catholic to close out the regular season. I almost went to that game, but I had been back and forth to Baton Rouge a good bit, so I took that one off. But yeah, I think Zachary's definitely the favorite in here, and like I said, I would watch out for Washington.
I love it, man. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Sulphur, man. Coach Adam Coleman, man. He was the president of the LHSBCA, man. He does a fantastic job with what he's got over there, man. He's gonna have him ready to rock and roll. Sam Houston's gonna be kind of a little rivalry there. Sulphur to Sam Houston, not very far. Both in Lake Charles. If they can get through that one, man. That's probably gonna be a really fun game there in that second round. Sulphur versus Ouachita. Ouachita's like y'all are saying it, man. Y'all got anything else in this bracket before we move along?
Yeah, I want to jump in on the Edmond kid. Edmonds is a really good story because Prep Hoops does their rankings. Last year, Edmonds was ranked like 65 or 66 or something like that. So he's a kid that we were able to get out and check out over the summer, and also check him out over the course of this season. And he's jumped from the late 60s all the way into the top 20s. I do believe he's one of the top guards in the state. The kid is just tough. He's mean. I saw him at Wiseman. He's a tough kid. And Zachary, even though I think Ouachita could give them problems, Zachary is just tough. They play hard as any team I've seen play in the state. They got a bunch of just young men on that team that are mean. So if you come out and you try to punch them in the face early, it's going to be a dogfight until the end of the game. I really do like Zachary. I do. But Ouachita, I think, will be the team. If anybody's going to give them a hard time, I think it's going to be Ouachita. No disrespect to West Monroe, though, because those boys are tough. They got a really good point guard in Jaden Jackson that has an offer from Grambling. He's tough. He's strong. West Monroe is tough also.
Love it, man. We'll move on down to the second slot of the Division I non-select. Josh, we'll get to start with you, man. You got North Shore up there, Covington, Slidell, a couple of teams in your area, man. What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket right here?
Yeah, I haven't really gotten to lay eyes on a bunch of the North Shore teams, but I have seen North Shore a time or two. I think they played in a tournament at Sophie B. Wright, and they beat a good amount of teams, some quality teams in that tournament. I think I probably caught them on one of not their best games. I can't remember who they played, but I think they're probably the favorite in here. Covington has had some really nice wins too.
Real quick, North Shore's riding a 17-game win streak into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So they rocking and rolling. Have beat Slidell, and I don't know if they beat Covington as well. So definitely kind of better of that North Shore area. What about the bottom half? Have you seen any of those teams?
Say that again.
What about the bottom half of that break? Have you seen any of those teams or got any insight on that?
Neville, Live Oak, Natchitoches? No, I haven't gotten a chance to see any of those four.
Tatum, what about you, man?
So I've seen Natchitoches. Natchitoches is really tough. They have a really good point guard. They got a big. Natchitoches Central is another one of those teams that play really hard. I'm from Ruston. or I live in Ruston, and Natchitoches Central is the team that beat Ruston last year. They're tough. They shoot the ball well. The point guard that they have is strong. He can get to the goal, and he can really manage a game by himself. So Natchitoches Central is really dangerous. The other team is Airline. Airline is sitting at the bottom, but they have a kid that actually ended up missing the majority of the season, Kevin White, and he's back. And they're scary at that 28 spot because the kid is back.
That's good insight because, North
I
Shores, when you're looking at North Shore's schedule, their schedule's not the toughest. Like, they have beat Covington and Slidell. Like, they have beat that 12 to 21 seed. But if you're saying Airline is in that mix, like Slidell and Covington, they're competing with them at that same level, Yeah. So that's definitely a sneaky game for sure. Guys, if y'all just watching this, tuning in, man, you can comment anything you got any information down there. Whether you got, like, for example, that was a great nugget right there about Airline. If you've got some information like that, feel free to comment, man. You guys in the comments and watching, y'all can be a part of this conversation as well. Man, have y'all either y'all ever been to Natchitoches Central in a playoff game, dude? That is freaking a sight to see, man. When y'all want to kind of talk about that, man, where they just put everybody in the student section behind the goal, which I don't even know if you can legally do that, but they just slam them all in there, man. They going crazy, dude. That I call it a hostile environment. People get upset with me, man, but it's everything of hostile as you can imagine, dude. So one of these teams is going to have to go on the road and win in that environment. I want to talk about that environment, and can anybody do that?
So if anybody does it, it'll be Neville. Neville is really tough. Neville has lost some games recently because one of their bigs has been out. But the thing about Neville is they have a really good point guard in Alan Fisher. And they've got the quarterback for Neville is also probably one of the best shooters in the state. So if he can get into Natchitoches Central and not get rattled by that crowd in there, the kid can get going. I saw him hit 8 or 9 in a gym. Like he's a kid that can absolutely go. Neville is scrappy, and even though they've played without a couple of players, I think they're a team. If anybody does it at Natchitoches, it would be them. Neville is coached really well also. So if anybody does it, I would say it could be Neville.
Love it, man.
Yeah, no, quick note, Slidell was the team that beat Zachary 59-52.
Wow.
Early February. Yeah, I think that was probably one of the bigger upsets of the season.
Dang, that's sneaky then. I mean, hey, look, if Slidell can pull off that and play at that level, they can definitely compete with anybody at that top half, man. You can have even a 21 seed then going in Natchitoches Central or like Neville, man. That's pretty wild, bro. That's definitely
really odd because they lost to Chalmette and they also lost to North Shore to close out the season by 20. So,
and like you said, to play at Zachary, I mean, to win, and you're saying in February too, huh?
Yeah, it was in February. It was at Slidell.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Yeah. But let's keep it moving, man. We're gonna jump down to the next part of the bracket. Tater, man, you want to take us off right here, man? Dillon Springs having a great year, man. Shout out to Jasmine Mitchell over at LSU, man. I think this might be one of the best years that they're having since he's been there. Santa Ma's well coached. Hineville's well coached. You got Ruston in the mix as well. What do you like here in this bottom half of this bracket?
If I had any money to bet, I would bet on Ruston to come out of this bracket. Ruston is dangerous. They probably have the number 1 or number 2 big in the state in Ahmad Hudson. I don't know if you've heard of the kid, but he is an absolute monster. 6'7", maybe 6'8", 240 pounds. He eats up everything that comes off the rim. He is mean. He is everything that you want in a big. And on top of that, we've got a really good 2027 in Keyshawn Malcolm that just picked up an offer from Grambling. 6'4", coach's kid that was raised as a point guard, but he plays over on the wing. He can just flat out score the ball. Who else do we have? We got Aiden Anding, who's a recent LSU commit he's going there to play football, but I'd throw him in as probably one of the best defenders in the state. But he's a dead-eye shooter also. He's known for shutting down the best player on the opposing team. So I would, if I had to pick a team, I'd pick Ruston. But I've scouted Denham Springs. Denham Springs is really tough. They have really good guards over there. Like I said, they have a couple of kids that I've scouted, but Ruston and what they have at Ruston, I just think they're going to be too tough for anybody to control the big man. And I don't think Denham Springs has the size to be able to deal with Ruston.
Yeah, that's a great draw for Ruston whenever you're looking at it, man. Josh, what's your thoughts, man? I mean, Hineville runs in with a couple game win streak. Could they get hot? What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I checked out Homeville. It was pretty early in the season, but I know they've got a really good kid, Kobe Landry, who's a senior now, and he's been. I want to say he might have passed 1,000 points, so he reached some sort of milestone recently, or was like Player of the Week or something like that. But he's a really good player. They've got another freshman over there. His name's escaping me right now, but I think they can be a tough team. Coach Popovich, I think the only women's coach for boys in the state, I think.
Yep.
So she always has them ready, and but like Tatum said, Ruston is the team that I see being the team to beat here. I haven't seen Denham Springs, so I say with that caveat, but yeah, I'm well aware of Ahmad. He had a dunk last year in the. I can't remember if it was the semifinals of state championship, but he basically jumped over somebody.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that.
Yeah, if you search my name or just search his name, it'll probably come up. But
no doubt,
yeah, I think Ruston's probably the favorite.
Hey, what about like if I'm a coach now? I'm at Denham Springs. I got a 3 next to my name, man. And,
I know, right?
We already saying, hey, I can play the underdog role right here, and I get a bye. Hopefully I take care of business there. I've already beat Santa Ma. Hopefully I can take care of business and kind of keep this thing rolling. Now I can play the underdog the rest of the way as a 3 seed, man. That's it's an easy draw for Ruston, but I also like the angle that Denham Springs can play, man. You can put a chip on a kid's shoulder, especially in the playoffs, man. That's definitely goes a long way, man. But let's keep it moving, man. We're gonna jump it down to the bottom half of this bracket, man. We got Central Baton Rouge, man. Some really, really good basketball being played in the Baton Rouge area with Central, Zachary, Madison Prep, Liberty, everybody, man. Everybody's really playing well, reaching that bar, and they just continue to raise it up there, man. Josh, man, I'm gonna let you jump on this one, man. What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket? Who you seeing coming out? Is Central just gonna kind of walk through this one, or what you think?
Yeah, you touched on it. Like, that district is crazy. Like, I don't know. I would doubt that there's a better district in the state. I mean, like you said, the Central, Catholic, Zachary, Liberty, and there's one in Central, and Liberty pretty much swept through it all, but I think Central's definitely going to be a tough team. Probably, I mean, they're the 2 seed, so I would say they are the favorite, in this little part of the bracket here.
Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? I mean, Southside's really well coached. They're going to be gritty, man. I feel like you got a bunch of gritty teams in this part of the bracket, man. Can anybody compete with Central, and if so, who can?
If it is anybody, I would bet on Southside. I've got the chance to see Parkway play 4 or 5 times. They're tough and scrappy, but they don't have the size to be able to deal with Central. Central has got a 6'7" kid that plays the 5 and a 6'6" kid that plays the 4. I really like their guard play. I'm a fan of Jace Conrad. I got to see him play a few times. He really looked good in the loss that they had to Ouachita, but I think Central walks.
Hey, we got a shout out with the ambiance in the background.
Yeah, man, he's showing
my little brother, man.
Flowers and like a globe. Like, I don't got nothing.
Man, I love it, man. Look, that's gonna keep us rolling through this next division, man. I'm gonna catch y'all off guard real quick, but I'm gonna throw up a video, man. Now, I'm always trying to get the conversation started here, but for those that don't know, Indiana high school is now allowing a transfer. So you're basically just like the transfer portal. You can transfer right in, play right away. You do not have to sit out. But check this video out, man. We'll comment back on it. But let us know in the comments, man. Do y'all think Louisiana got it wrong? Because Louisiana voted this down by hand over fist, right? It was really voted down. Do y'all think we should reevaluate it? Did Louisiana get it right, or did Indiana get it right? Should we or should we not have a transfer?
Oh, here we go now. Here we go. If you don't like where you at, okay, you don't like the school you playing at, in Indiana, Here we go. Transfer portal. Here it is. Now, before in Indiana, you couldn't transfer for sports. You technically couldn't transfer from one school to another school for sports. So what you'll do, you'll say, y'all, I don't like the environment. Oh, say I don't like the way the school is. I get bullied. We moving. You had to do that, change your address and stuff. Now what you can do is transfer because of sports. You can do that because of sports. Now, what they usually do, if you're a good player, even if you're a bad player, the athletic director got to sign off of it. But sometimes you got to wait 365 days to even play a varsity sport. So, for example, your kid want to transfer, or you want to transfer, or whatever, and the athletic director may say, yeah, you can transfer, but you're gonna sit a whole 365 days before you can play on a varsity level at the school you're transferring to. Now you can say, man, I want to transfer there to play basketball. Come on. They say they want to train. We just want to say, come on. I ain't playing. Come on. Go where you gonna go. Be happy. Do what you got to do. But all in all,
Look, man, it's kind of the gist of it, man. What's y'all's thoughts on that, man? And I would love to know the conversation in the comments as well. I think personally, it makes the job of the LHSA a lot easier. Just look, you're allowed to transfer, one-time transfer, and once you start, like you can go to whatever school you want to as a freshman, play right away, and then at that point you're allowed a one-time transfer. Maybe not opening up to where you can transfer every single year. I think that might be a little bit too much. But what's y'all's thoughts, man? Again, Louisiana voted on this, and they voted it down. Do you think we should reevaluate it, revisit this, or did we get it right? Tatum, we'll start with you, man. What's your thoughts?
I personally feel like a kid should get one move. Every place isn't a good fit, and that's just the way I look at it. I think I've seen kids at schools. I mean, for example, if you're a kid that's at a 5A school, but there may be no chance of you getting the opportunity to earn a starting position, there may be opportunities for you maybe at the Class B, C, or the 1A level. And also, if you're at a smaller school and you want to try to step up and play on a bigger platform or a bigger stage, I think you should have that. I think you should have that flexibility to make that decision. I mean, it's a decision that's going to end up being made by the parents. So I don't really see kids moving. I see families moving. And if mom and dad is on board with it, I don't think the LHSAA should stop them. Now, if you're trying to jump every year, I don't really agree with that. But one legit move, I think they should be allowed to go.
Josh, what's your thoughts, man? I mean,
yeah, I'm with Tatum. I definitely think you should get one move. I think it's just a really outdated concept to still say, oh, well, you can't transfer for sports. Like, just let people make the best decision for themselves. Like, if they feel, there's a better opportunity at another school, or it's just not the right fit, whatever the case may be, at least just a one-time transfer for whatever reason. And then, of course, if your family moves or whatever, I think you should obviously get another one. But yeah, I'm definitely with transfers.
and I agree, man. It's like, guys, let us know in the comments what y'all think, man. I agree. Like, it's one of those things where it's already happening. Like the guy saying in the video, there's ways around it. You can move. You can say you're getting bullied or whatever else. I think this makes the job of the LHSA, who already has a very difficult job, a lot easier, right? You're just opening it up, one-time transfer, boom. Now, instead of having those appeals and everything else, it's just easier, man. You just kind of keep it moving and rocking and rolling. I think it makes things a lot easier, a lot cleaner. On top of it helps the kids, the student athlete, man. And, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all here for the student athlete experience. But, man, appreciate everybody for jumping in, man. Again, guys, y'all can comment below, man. Comment, be a part of the conversation. Just like to see this Central's two bigs can go. We already talked about that, man. But we're going to get it going. Division I Select, man. We call this the Liberty Invitation, I believe. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man, here on the top half? I hate the draw for Holy Cross, Brother Martin, and Jesuit, man. I think Holy Cross might have got the worst draw out of the entire state, man. As you have already beat these two teams, and now you got to go and beat them both again, man. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, and Brother Martin is like weird. And really everybody in that Catholic League can kind of beat each other. I even like Rummel got some wins, got a couple wins in district play, or was it just one? Either way, like it's just tough trying to deal with anybody in the Catholic League. Um, I guess maybe the lucky break for Holy Cross, if they can get past Brother Martin, is Jesuit. They're missing their big Ethan Lopez, and he was real. You saw the dip once he went out. Like they immediately, I think they lost like the next 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 or something like that, and they were #1 in the Catholic League. So they still have Brewer Nitcher and a couple other guys. So Jesuit's still going to be a tough out, but Holy Cross might have got a little bit lucky in that sense. But Liberty is they're just super tough. I don't know who's going to really be able to deal with them. If you can go through 4, 5, 8 undefeated, you are the favorite in whatever bracket you in. That's how I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Tatum, what's your thoughts, man? You want to add anything to that, man?
I agree with Josh. I saw Liberty and Zachary when they came up to play Carroll and Wiseman. Carroll and Wiseman both split those games with Wiseman and Carroll, but nobody goes to Wiseman and wins. So the fact that they were able to go in that gym and win in Monroe, it showed me a lot about Liberty. Liberty is one of the most fun teams to watch in the state. I've seen them play live. If I can find videos of them playing, I'll watch them play. Definitely one of the most fun teams to watch play in the state. And I don't really see anybody beating them on this side of the bracket.
Fair enough, man. And what kind of – go ahead, Josh.
I was just gonna say the atmosphere at Liberty, A1, top tier. Yeah. Like I went to the game when they played Zachary. That was the best game I've been to all season. So
that's what I'm saying, dude. Holy Cross beat everybody that's in their side of the bracket already. So congratulations if you beat Brother Martin. Congratulations if you beat Jesuit again. Now your reward is you got to go on the road at Liberty, man. They got the worst draw in the entire state, man. That is just tough, man. Tough for sure. But again, guys, comment below, man. We're live on YouTube as well as Facebook, facebook.com/LBR basketball, as well as youtube.com/LBR basketball. As you can see here, man, we got guys watching on YouTube. You can comment below, be a part of the conversation, help us continue to grow. We'll get it down to the next part, man. You got Ash. I love Ash being in this select side, man. You got St. Aug. Tatum, man, you kick us off right here, man. What's Shreve looking like? Who's gonna come out of that part? Bonomo's got some dogs as well, man. This is a little bit more wide open, I think, in this part of the bracket.
So Shreve doesn't really have a lot of size, but they're probably one of the best defensive teams in the state. So in that first matchup against Karen Crow, if Shreve can turn them over, that could end up being a tough draw for Karen Crow. But I've watched Ash. I watched Ash beat Ruston. Their big is a monster. I think 1 through 5, Ash just looks really good. Ash is just tough. I don't see anybody beating Ash. But if anybody did, I would say it would be Shreve, just because they're so locked in defensively. I love their guards. They got 3 small guards. They might all be right at 5'10", and then they just play hard. So if anybody shows up and thinks it's going to be an all-star game, they're going to get a rude awakening and could be on the losing end of a dogfight.
I love it, man. Josh, what's your thoughts, man, on this bottom half, man? Again, bottom was playing good, man. Got St. Aug again in the Catholic League. Can anybody keep up with Ash there, or is Ash a favorite as well?
Yeah, I would go Ash too. Tyshawn Duncan is the kid. He was the big that Tatum was mentioning. I saw him a lot with Live On this past summer, and he kid, super athletic. Just plays hard, both ends of the floor, block shots. Legitimate 6'8", big frame. Like he's legit, and he's a real jokester too. That's one of my favorite kids.
Well, I was just getting ready to say that because I've watched him play in games. I watched Carroll beat Ash at Carroll, but he was a kid that was so much fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Like when another player made a good play, he'd tell him, "Hey man, great play." Like he's just fun to watch. I did a write-up on the kid, and it really wasn't even about what he did in the basketball game. It was really a lot about his personality, his basketball attitude, and just how he was just a good kid and he was fun to watch because he was a proper, polite dog. But if you did something on the court, he was like, "Yo, that was nice."
Yeah.
So shout out to him for just being a good dude.
Yeah, always encouraging teammates. Like even if he's on the bench, he's up, he's clapping, like all of that good stuff. But just on the bottom half, St. Aug and Bonneville, I feel like they played this year. But that could be an interesting matchup as long as Bonneville gets past Turlings. Just because I think they'll be familiar with each other. And Jeremiah Lucas at Bonneville is, I think, probably top 3 seniors in the state. He was another live-on kid, so I've seen a ton of him over the last 4 years or so. He's been playing since he was a freshman. And then St. Aug, they just kind of got a pretty deep team. They can probably go like 7, 8 deep. Their point guard, Aaron Miles, is actually the son of Aaron Miles. He's Aaron Miles Jr., and his dad, Aaron Miles, is the Pelicans assistant. So he's got like one of the best floaters that you'll probably see. He's a kind of a small guard right now, but if he gets bigger, he's gonna be a serious problem. So I think that's just kind of an outlook on that little group.
Just to jump in on what you said about the kid from Bonneville, I don't get to go down south often, but I just heard about the kid maybe 3 or 4 days ago. Been doing my research on him. Bonneville they popped Crescent City about a week ago, and I've been keeping up with Crescent City, and they play everybody really tough. So when I saw that they popped Crescent City, I was like, who is Bonneville? But doing my research, I do see that about the kid from Bonneville, and I think he's ranked on Prep Hoops as the number 4 player out of the class of 2025.
Love it, man. Love it, man. And again, guys, it's like
on the channel.
Hey, it's wide open in the comments, man. Great comment right here about Shreve having a perimeter defender, man. JD McDonald, best on the ball defender seen all year, man. You guys in the comments, man, feel free to add anything team wise, atmosphere, anything that you got, man. This is open kind of conversation, so we love the comments right here. Get another comment talking about Jeremiah Lucas, a flat out bucket. He definitely got snubbed in the All-Star game. I know that's been a big topic.
I don't know what's up with that.
Hopefully that gets made right, man. Somebody ends up not being able to make it, he can slide in there. But Josh, on your conversation about St. Aug defeated Bono by 4, but that game was way back in December. So definitely something to keep an eye on there in that rematch. That'll be a great game, man. Bono versus St. Aug, but that's gonna be on Mardi Gras Day, huh? And Tuesday. Can we talk about that? Nobody talking about that. St. Aug's gonna have a home game on Tuesday, Mardi Gras freaking Fat Tuesday. I'm assuming maybe that game gets played on Monday. Like, in the past, what normally happens on that, Josh? It only happens like once every 4 years.
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I haven't really. I mean, usually they'll play the games real early. Like if it's right around Mardi Gras, they might play it at like 2 or 1, just trying to beat the parade stuff. But I don't know. It's no telling really.
Yeah, so that game's gonna be on that Tuesday. Everyone's gonna be out of school. I mean, Fat Tuesday. Maybe they play that one late with the parades being so early. I don't know. Something to keep an eye on, though, for sure. I mean, the New Orleans schools are gonna have to fight through Mardi Gras. Like it's gonna be a challenge, man. Even that game at Bonneville, man, that's been a lot of Mardi Gras parades and everything else. Like it's gonna be a lot going on. Are the fans and everything gonna show up, man? That's gonna be a challenge, man. It only happens every couple of years, but it's definitely gonna be a challenge. We got to play that game on Monday. Somebody said, I would agree, man. That's tough too, because then you're playing on Friday and you're trying to turn around and play on Monday. Maybe you could play Monday like during the day. Maybe I don't know. Then we go down to the bottom half right here, man. You got Ponchatoula playing well. St. Thomas More, man. It's like he just gets those guys out and ready to roll every single year. It seems like they're a top 5 seed. Tioga, Woodlawn. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts here, man? Can Raspberry Lane make a run right here? What you thinking?
So the only team that I'm really familiar with is Huntington. I've watched them play a lot of ball this year. Huntington is exciting to watch. They're a young team, but they're long, but they don't really have a whole lot of size. But they can score the ball. I mean, Huntington is just fun. Huntington is fun. Huntington is tough. You got Peyton Parker. The Dixon kid over there, I mean, they got 6'1", 6'5", 6'4". Huntington could be. I'm confused about Huntington because, like I said, they're long, but they don't really have a whole lot of size. I feel a lot more comfortable with Huntington if they had a big. But the fact that they can score the ball so well, they got shooters, they got rim runners, and they got slashers. So, I mean, if you come in and you want to play a slow game, Huntington can pop you because they're gonna run. So, if anybody gives anybody a hard time, I'd bet on Huntington. But if a team shows up with some size, it could be a little difficult for them.
Josh, man, what's your thoughts here, man, on this part of the bracket?
East Jeff, I've seen them a couple of times. They do have a pretty good big Dorian Hollins. He's actually probably more of a football player, but he's athletic and he can kind of give you some problems in there. He plays hard. Ponchatoula, I've seen them maybe once or twice. Caleb Seabury is a kid that I like from there. He's a senior. He can really score, good shooter, real smooth player. And then St. Thomas More, Coach Broussard, he's doing okay. I know he had kind of a health scare, I think, a while ago.
Yeah,
but,
I think he's back from what I
okay.
mean, he's back on the sidelines, so I'm assuming he's back ready to roll.
Yeah, he's always got them super coached up, and he's still to this day has one of my like little favorite anecdotes from like they were playing the game at like Southern Suno, and they were down by like 7 with like 5 seconds left or something. And he calls a timeout, and everybody was ready to go because it was a tournament, so everybody started booing. And he heard him, and he goes, "Don't worry about it. I'm about to drop an 8-point play." I like this guy. So yeah, we always kind of chop it up a little bit. So I think they always a tough team, like I said.
I love it, man. Hey, I mean, Ponchatoula rolls with a 11-game win streak into this part of the bracket, man. So this is a lot tighter part of the bracket. It can definitely go a lot of different ways, man. Appreciate all the comments down below, guys. Comment any of your thoughts, man. We'll definitely keep it rolling and keep them going on up there. It's going to get us down to the bottom part, which is Catholic, man. I've seen Catholic, man. Catholic's probably one of the best offensive teams that I've seen in the state, man. Just strong, physical dudes. Then they got like 6 seniors, man. It's just very veteran. Like you're out there playing against a college basketball team. If they're allowing the hand check, man, it's going to be hard to score, man. It's going to be very, very difficult to score. They got a shooter. They got the guy on the inside as well. Can anybody compete with Catholic right here? Tatum, man, what's your thoughts?
Catholic is too big. I think they're too skilled. I saw Catholic play Northwest. They hit 10 3-pointers in the first half and then finished the second half with another 8. Tate McMurray is, I mean, Catholic is just going to be tough. And they have really good guards, but they also got the big. I think the big just picked up an offer from Centenary. But when Catholic runs out, they look like a junior college team. All them boys look like they spend their time in the weight room. Everybody can shoot the ball. They play good, basic, fundamental basketball. They get up in you on defense. Catholic BR. When I saw them play, I thought they were the best team that I had watched play at that time.
Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? I mean, Catholic. I think they're the best team in this bracket pretty handily. Can somebody compete with them, and can they compete with Liberty?
Scotlandville is a little bit down this year, but maybe just because of the Baton Rouge, proximity rivalry type of thing, I maybe could see that one. But Tate McCurry is a ball player. Like he's again another one that's like top 5-ish, maybe the top 3 in the state for seniors.
Yeah.
Matthew Hotstream is the other kid he was mentioning who just got an offer from Centenary. He's a big, just kind of think really just a hard worker, kind of a glue type of guy down there. And Derek Jones, I think one of the best coaches in the state. But I'm pretty biased that I actually played for him at Everett, and like he just gets the most out of you. Like he's gonna give you the hard truth, and he's just gonna make you better. And that's like I said, I think they're definitely the favorite in here. McDonough 35 is sneaky. They're gonna be sneaky. They might be able to get Scotlandville. They're still kind of young though. Coach Dumas is in his second year, just second or third year, but he turned that program around like quick. So they've got some really quality wins this year, and I think they might have a chance in that game. Curtis and Rummel. I'm trying to remember. I think Curtis did beat Rummel, but Curtis is the Catholic League champion. They beat Holy Cross towards the end of the year in what was basically the district championship. So I think they should be able to have a pretty good chance to see Catholic.
Let me throw in something
what's
about
y'all's thoughts, man? I'm gonna put y'all on the record, man. Catholic and Liberty in the championship, which is probably what most would say right now. Can Catholic beat Liberty? Liberty's already beat them by 12 earlier in the season. What's Catholic's chances of beating Liberty? Is there anybody else that can compete with Liberty?
I'm taking Liberty because of the style of ball that they play. Watching kids try to hit threes in that big gym, I've just seen teams go down there and not be able to shoot the ball the way that they normally shoot it. Catholic shoots a lot of threes, and Liberty's going to get to the rim. They got a squad full of slashers. So if I had to pick a team, I'd pick Liberty. No disrespect to Catholic, though. Love to watch them play. When I saw them play the first time, I thought they were the best team that I had seen play in the state. But if I got to pick one, I'm taking Liberty.
Yeah, I'm going Liberty too. I think they got a pretty good balance of getting to the rim and shooters. Chivas Lee, number 5, is a really good shooter. Kareem Washington is a good shooter. Devin, number 2, is a pretty good shooter. So Malik is really the problem. Like on defense, he spearheads everything. Like he's at the top of the zone, or just at the on ball defender at the point of attack, and he's just messing up everything. Like I think they have him averaging like 7 steals on Max Preps, and their numbers look legit on there. So
yeah. Right now he's leading the nation in steals at 8.2 steals a game. And let me throw in something about Evangel. So Evangel is a sneaky team because Evangel is a football school. So Evangel was out some of their football players at the beginning of the season. So their record in that position might look a little bit. They're a sneaky 23. So they do have really good guards. They got a big that can score the ball. And CJ Shiflett is one of the best guards I've seen play in the state. He can go. So Evangel is a team that could they could do a couple of things. That'll be an interesting matchup with Archbishop.
That's a good point right here with the comment, man. Talking about Catholic played at Liberty. Again, guys, really appreciate the comments, man. Keep those comments coming. That definitely helps us out. Before we jump into the next bracket, man, I'm going to run a quick ad. For those that don't know, we're sponsored by Sports Clips Haircuts for Men. They do a great job, man. They're giving away a free haircut for us. So if you haven't already, comment the word MVP. You'll be in the running for a free haircut, man. Check out this quick ad.
You may not know where you stand with today's youth, but you always know where you stand with the Sport Clips app haircut tracker that tracks your real-time wait time. It's a game changer.
Again, guys, if you haven't already, man, just comment MVP. It's all you got to do. You'll be entered into a free haircut. They're giving that away. We'll run it all in the drawing. Whoever gets that drawing will be announced on Thursday. So even if you're watching this later on down the road, you can still comment MVP. And although this is Sports Clips Haircuts for Men, it can go to anybody, just like you see here. Kayla commented. You can give that away to somebody else, brother, whoever you want, man. But comment MVP. Do a great job, Sports Clips. You can get watch the games. You get a massage with the MVP package. You get a wash, everything cut, all that good stuff, man. So shout out to Sports Clip Haircuts for Men. That's good for any sports clips in the state of Louisiana. But we're going to get it back right, man. So we're going to go back to the next bracket, which is going to be is that Waspin? Is that right? Let me double check. Is that where we at? Are we on the Waspin?
Should be Division 2.
Yeah, Division 2 select.
Select.
Non-select, yeah. Waspin, man. So on the girls' side, man, we call this the Waspin Invitational, man. Waspin's won what is now 3 straight titles on the girls' side, man. The boys got them one as well, man. Tatum, man, this is kind of your area up north, man. You got Waspin, you got Bastrop. Same thing on the girls' side, man. It's the same kind of draw. Waspin at the 1, Bastrop at the 8. Is there anybody that can compete with Wasserman in this part of the bracket?
So Northwest is really tough. They have a really good 27, but Northwest just has a really good team. Northwest is the team that I saw play against Catholic. They played them tough, but Catholic was just too big. The storyline I think in this bracket is Wasserman and Bastrop. Trey Mason won his state championship with Wasserman and transferred to Bastrop. So every time those teams play each other, it's a dogfight. So what I would like to see is I'd like to see Wasserman and Bastrop, but Bastrop started out slow, but they've been beating teams lately. LeBron Deal, Trey Mason at Bastrop, and Zion Weeks, Landon Wilson. Wasserman is stacked. They're another one of the teams that I really like to watch play, just because they play so hard. I would say that Zion Weeks is one of the best guards in the state because he can score the ball or he can facilitate. The kid just does whatever it takes to win. I watched them lose to Calvary without their starting point guard, Davey Mays, and it took Calvary to hit a buzzer beater to beat them. So I would say I'd like to see Wasserman go back down there again. I haven't seen them lose many games, and everybody that they play tough.
Yeah, I saw Wasserman, man, earlier. They're tough, man. They're just tough, and Weeks makes them go, man. Weeks makes them go, and I feel like he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder as it comes down. He's a senior, right? Being your last year, man, I think he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder, leaving nothing unturned, man, for sure. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? Can anybody kind of compete with the Wasserman in this part of the bracket?
Yeah, these teams I'm not very familiar with. Wasserman I saw like over the summer, and they were tough. Like you said, they've got like 5 or 6 guys that they look like they can kind of lean on. Trey Mason I have seen before. I actually saw him when he was with Wasserman in the semifinals maybe a couple years ago, and he was like a really fun player to watch. But I would probably lean on Wasserman here.
Love it, man. We'll keep it moving, man. And again, no disrespect to Wasserman, man. We'll be talking about you guys for a couple shows here coming down the line. But moving on down to the next part, man. You got Bruley, definitely competitive. Carroll, man. Again, some more teams up in the north, man. Sterlington's kind of up and under the radar. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? Any of these teams here that you've seen? Bruley again is in that basketball Baton Rouge area, man. It's just some really good basketball over there right now.
Yeah, Bruley I have not seen, but Carroll I've seen. I want to say, well, I know I've seen him over the summer. I can't remember if I saw him in the regular season, but Traylon Neal, he's a bucket. I would assume he's probably the top guy on their team still. He can really just kind of score in pretty much any way. Like I saw him against Shaw in the summer, and he scored like 30 in like a summer league game. It wasn't even like a full 4 quarters. They played like 2 halves or something. He was tearing them up.
Wow.
So yeah, that just from off of that alone, I would probably lean on Carroll here in this bracket.
So go ahead.
I've seen Sterlington. Sterlington has Cooper Nelson. The kid is a junior and just passed 2,000 points. So that first round matchup against Franklinton could be fun to watch because I expect the kid to go out there and probably hit 35 plus. If you don't figure out a way to stop him, he'll punch you in the eye. And he's a kid that sees double team, triple teams, face guarded, and he always figures out a way to score. And then for Carroll had a transfer in from Ouachita, Tyler Modica, and then the third guy, or really the second guy, or the first guy, depending on which night you watch him play, is Jaden Williams. They've got a 3-headed monster that is an absolute terror to teams. I watched them beat Zachary, and I watched them beat Alexandria Senior High. So they can beat tough teams. And I'd put them up there with anybody else in the state. Oh, and I saw them beat Peabody also.
Oh wow.
So
It's
they
it's a
they
fun
beat
it's
some
a
of the
fun
top teams in
bracket,
the
man.
state.
It's a fun bracket, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Washington's your defending state champ, right? So I mean, they're obviously the team to beat, man. But it seems like there is some teams that can definitely make a run here in this part of the bracket. Again, guys, appreciate all the comments, man. Keep those coming, man. Definitely helps out a lot in getting everything rocking and rolling. Tatum, man, let's get back with you, man. You got Opelousas here, some good basketball in Lafayette as well. Ellender, man, still have not got that gym, man. It's so crazy that they're playing all those games on the road. You see that game there at that Terrebonne, man. They finally knocked that gym down after the hurricane was just a few years ago. What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket, man? Can Bossier make a run? What you
Yes,
thinking?
Bossier can make a run. Nothing bigger than the B. Bossier is a team that I've watched play from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. They just beat Calvary on a buzzer beater, I think last Friday. No, on Saturday. They just beat Calvary on a buzzer beater. So Bossier is
That's a good
team
feather
that
in the cap.
yeah.
It is.
So Bossier is a team that I started watching years ago when Jacoby Decker was there.
Yeah.
Every year they have
Yeah, he
tough
was fun.
guards. Yeah, he was special.
He was fun.
Yeah. But Bossier is a team that coached really well. Any team that has to go there and try to win a game, the gym is a little bit dark. It's always packed in there. Bossier is just a tough place to win. I would say 1 through 7. Bossier has got players. They never play the game the same way, but they always play the game tough. They got a young shooter over there named David Thomas, I think it is. They call him DT, but Bossier is going to be tough. So if anybody was able to upset against Opelousas out of this bracket, I'd point at Bossier.
Man, how crazy is that game going to be at Opelousas with Bossier, man? That's a quarterfinal matchup right there, man. That's going to be hostile environment, man. It's going to be a fun one for sure. Josh, man, what you want to add anything to this part?
You had something, Tatum?
Yeah, I wanted to shout out the Carol Dean kid, or Carol Dean Woods. I think he just committed to Xavier.
That's big time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Reggie Williams in the comments. I'm gonna always say Bossier. Just historically, they've been almost every time I'm in Lake Charles for the semis and championships. So yeah, I'm rolling with Bossier too.
I love it, man. That's gonna be fun, dude. I'm telling you, Opelousas is gonna be off the chain whenever Bossier comes into town, man. That's definitely gonna be a fun game, man. There's some really cool matchups right here with the quarterfinals coming down the line. Let's go ahead and jump into the next part, man. Bottom half of this bracket. So you got the 2 seed. Got Albany, man. They're well coached. I don't know if they've really challenged themselves as far as scheduling wise to compete and come out of this part of the bracket. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? West Feliciana's playing some good basketball. What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket?
Yeah, again, we kind of in a territory where I haven't really seen any of these teams. Bochan, I remember having a kid from one of the tournaments I've seen that could really go. I can't remember his name though, but yeah, I can't be of much service to you guys in this field. I apologize.
No, that's all good, man.
I
Hey,
would go with
that's why we
Minden
need the
just
people in
like
the comments, man. That's why we need the people in the comments, man. Tatum, man,
So
what's your thoughts? You can add something to this?
I can. So I've watched Minden play. Minden actually has 2 kids that just got offered or recently were offered from Centenary. So Minden is skilled. Minden is athletic. Minden is coached really well. The only thing I'll say about Minden is I don't really think they play the toughest schedule. So I'm not really sure if they're battle tested. But on the other side of that is Franklin Parish. They're probably one of the biggest teams that I've seen play this season. The coach's kid, Drew Cooper, is probably one of the best shooters in the state. He's a 6'6", 6'7" guard that can flat out shoot the ball. And they've got a 27 kid over there named Zyrell Tillman. That's a slasher. They've got a big that hangs out around the goal, and anything he gets, he can put up. The only time I've seen them struggle, they've struggled with teams that were smaller and really fast. But if it's another team that wants to play half-court ball, I'm taking Franklin Parish.
Man, I'm looking at the scores, man. Beauchene lost to Opelousas is about 4. So that might be like a little dark horse in this part of the bracket, man. As a 15 seed to make some noise here. I think a lot of this bracket is I mean, teams have won a lot of games, but just a little bit on the softer side. So it's gonna be a matter of fact of who can play, who's ready for the moment at the end of the day, man. Who's ready for the opportunity. Guys, again, appreciate everybody in the comments, man. Keep them coming, man. If you haven't already, man, make sure you click the click Josh Preston's YouTube channel. I'm about to pull that up in the comments and subscribe, man. Guys, at 19,000 subscribers, man. Trying to get him to 20,000. Appreciate him for jumping on, man. Take a quick second, man. Just click that link and click subscribe. It's absolutely free to subscribe, man. Appreciate the support. We're gonna get into the next division, man. Shaw, man. Shaw is fun to watch, man. Shaw is tough. Probably one of the better teams in the state, regardless of classification. Josh, you want to talk a little bit about them? Maybe John F. Kennedy, man, could have a shot at this one. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Shaw is definitely one of the top, I would say probably top 5, top 3 teams in the state. Maybe 3 might be a lot, but they beat, I was there when they beat Zachary. Really good game. I think that was 80 to 70 or 70 to 60, something like that. But they've got 5, 6 guys that are like really, really quality players. Kobe Butler is a Jackson State commit. He's like 6'7", 6'8", jumps out the gym, like through the legs, dunking, backwards, alley-oops, all that stuff. Tristan Akins, a 2027 kid, incredibly high ceiling, really skilled, can shoot it a little bit, can put it on the floor some, will dunk on people, over people when he's aggressive. Sometimes I got to yell at him about that. But sometimes he can kind of fade into the background. But he's going to be a super high-level kid. He's gonna be a Division I kid. Alan Shaw is they got 2 really good guards. Really more than 2. Alan Shaw and Christian Clare, who's a freshman. And Christian had a great game when they played Zachary. He scored maybe 25, 26, something like that. And then Khalil Alvarbara is another kid. He's a senior, really smooth player. He can shoot it, just smart player, just kind of gets in and out, kind of gets where he needs to go. Douglas is kind of an interesting team too. Kerwin Forges, again, I think one of the better coaches in the state. Like, he just finds a way like to get the most out of every group. Trey Hilliard for Douglas is their guy. He was another live-on kid, so I've seen a ton of him. I think he could give them a chance against Parkview. Kennedy and Booker T is pretty interesting because Booker T, they're real young, so they're real up and down. Like, they might beat a good team by like 4 or lose by like 20. So it's kind of hard to gauge them. Kennedy's been pretty consistent. I would expect them to win that one pretty easy. I think I might go to that game. Kennedy, Joe Bernardez is a junior. He's kind of a forward. He's kind of raw, but he plays super hard, and he's just somebody that I would take on my team any day. He's going to be on the offensive boards. He's going to get like 7, 8 offensive boards probably a game. And he's physically developed. Like, he's big, he's strong. He's just a problem to deal with down there.
Love it, man. Tatum, man, you want to add anything to that? Is Shaw the best team in the state? Are they? Can anybody beat them in this division?
I've only watched Shaw on NFHS or the Varsity Sports Network app or on Josh's platform. But everything that he said about Shaw, that's the exact same thing that I was thinking. Christian Clare is a kid that I've been keeping up with because he's probably going to end up being a top 5 freshman in the state. I like the Shaw kid because he's just a dog. Yes. I love to watch offense, but I also like to see a guy that accepts his role as the defender. So, I mean, he can turn anybody over at any given time. And what Josh said about the other guys is absolutely true. They could beat anybody in the state on any given night.
Mm-hmm. Love it, man. Let's keep it moving, man. I guess the more of the story in this division, man, is who can catch Shaw. You got Madison Prep, Lake Charles Prep, College Prep. I saw Lake Charles play earlier. They got some size. The 2 twins can score it, can kind of take turns scoring one-on-one. Josh, man, let's let you get us started, man. You got Prep, Landry, U High, Booker T. What's some teams right here that can kind of come out of this division?
Yeah, I've seen a good bit of a handful of these teams. Madison Prep, Elijah Garner is a sophomore. He's big time player. He's definitely, I think, the leader for that team. But they have some other seniors around, and they just kind of supplement him with those other guys. And then Will Nelson is a freshman. He's another one that's like going to be a top 5 type freshman in the state. He's a big, but he can kind of step out and shoot it, put it on the floor, run the floor. Just a really good player for them already. Landry, they've got the 2 guards. Landry always has guards. Coach Rob Wallace has him playing pretty good. Daryl Adams is the senior point guard. He kind of runs the show for the most part. And Darius Keefe is another freshman that's going to be – he's another – I keep saying top 5 type of freshman, but he can go. He had a tough game when they played Shaw, but I expect him to bounce back. And U-High is another interesting one. Ethan Kimmy is another 2027 kid. He can really play. And they have another guard, too, whose name is escaping me right now, but they're a tough squad, too.
Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? Like, coming out of this division, top half of the bracket, this bracket and the bracket we had before, man, like, who can compete with Shaw?
If I had to pick a team, I'd say Madison Prep. Like what Josh said, I mean, Elijah Gardner is the truth. I really like the freshman. I watched that game. I watched the game that they played against Catholic, and Madison Prep was up in that game until probably the last 15, 20 seconds of the game. But what really showed a lot to me about Madison Prep, they kept trying to feed the young kid. They kept trying to get the ball to Nelson. So the fact that you've got a kid, the fact that you've got a young guy that has a skill set, and the older players on the team were trying to get him the ball, I thought that really said a lot. So if anybody's going to do it, I would say it's going to be Madison Prep.
And not to play devil's advocate over here, but you got Lake Charles again, got a 4 next to their name. They're riding an 11-game win streak, and they actually beat Madison Prep back in December by 9. So, like, it's one of those things, once you get to this point in the season, man, you get used to seeing teams that you're used to seeing, and you're going to give those guys the benefit of the doubt with experience. But Madison Prep's going to have to go on the road and win at Lake Charles College Prep, man. Hey, got some bulletin board material, though, for sure, man. If you can play the underdog role. Again, Dillon Springs can play the underdog role at the 3 seed, and I've got Lake Charles that can probably play the underdog role at the 4 seed. I think that's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially as a coach coming out of this part of the bracket.
I do got something I want to add, though. I don't even know how I missed it, but Booker T. Shreveport. Booker T. Shreveport is a tough team, a sneaky team, because they've got a really good point guard over there, and somebody just jumped in about another kid that they have over there, and their coach really good. They coach really well also. So watch out for Booker T. Shreve.
So, and on this comment right here where Lake Charles beat Wiseman, they actually beat Madison Prep the day before and then turn around and beat Wiseman the next day. So they're definitely can play some good basketball. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Tatum, man, you get us started right here, man. You got Peabody, again, team we always see in the mix right there. McKinley. What's some teams that can come out of this part of the bracket?
The only team that I've seen is Peabody, and Peabody is Peabody. Peabody has everything that they need to go win a state championship. But like I said, I saw them lose to Carroll. I saw them lose to Wiseman. But yeah, Peabody is the only team that I've seen. Peabody is tough. They play hard. Of course, everyone knows their coach well. But I don't really see anybody else taking down Peabody.
Josh, hey, before we get into your comments, man, this is what I'm talking about. On Friday, the Sophie B. Wright game versus Willow is going to be played at 2:00. So, like, are we getting out of school early right there? Or are we just cutting 7 block off and bringing all the students into the gym? That's definitely going to be interesting, man. And again, like, everyone's going to be such in a hurry to get out of there. Is anybody going to be at that game as far as fans? Is that an opportunity where Willow could upset them, or what you think?
Nah, I don't see an upset here. Granted, I haven't seen Willow, but Sophie B. Wright has two really, really good guards, Hiram Bluin and Ja'Cory Washington. Ja'Cory Washington is like one of the most slept on players in the state. Like that dude can play. Um he shows up in all the big games. Like he's gonna get you 20 some way somehow. A really good free throw shooter, knows how to get to the line. Just a really, really good feel for the game. I'm a big fan of his. Um, I don't think they have too much trouble in that first round. Jason Bertrand is a really good coach. He hasn't kind of locked in, and they have a sophomore too, Zion Cameron. That I think he's got a chance. Like he's like 6'6", 6'7". He's a wing. He can get up above the rim already. Can shoot it a little bit, but he's still pretty raw. But I think he's got a chance to be pretty good. St. Charles, a team I saw over the summer, they had a really tough injury with one of their top players. So I think they've just been kind of trying to figure it out, going through the season. But yeah, I think Peabody's still probably the favorite here for sure.
I definitely can agree, man. I think again when it gets down to this time of year, man, it's like you got to go with the teams that have been there and had that experience. Archbishop Hannon, man, another team that's just had the experience for year in year out here with the big guy on the inside, man. Arguably the best player in the state. Josh, I mean, what's your thoughts on this bottom half of the bracket here?
Yeah, the kid you're mentioning is Drew Timmons. He's a forward. He's signed the Navy, and he's just he scores so easily. Like he makes it look like he's not really trying that hard. And you look down and he got 30. And it's just layups, a little mid range here. Like you can't speed him up. He just kind of goes wherever he wants on the floor, and he just makes it look so easy. So I've got to go with them as the favorite in here. And then Carver is the other team I'm familiar with. They're like kind of an enigma. Like I kind of like their players. They've got like 5, 6 guys they can really play, really 5. But they just, I don't know, they've just been kind of up and down. They can't seem like they can't really get on the same page all the time. But I think lately here they've been playing pretty well. And I wouldn't put it past them to get a W in that first round.
Hey, let's not jump too far ahead, but
last 6.
what about Hannon and Shaw, man? Rematch, man. Can Hannon compete with Shaw? I mean, it was a dogfight in the last time that they played. You think Hannon has what it takes to beat Shaw? Is Shaw the better team? What's your thoughts?
I think they could beat him, but I would still go Shaw. Hannon's guard play is kind of iffy sometimes. Like some of the better guards, sometimes they're a little off. So, but like Shaw, they're just so consistent. Alan Shaw is just like Tatum mentioned earlier, just a dog on the ball. Again, another one of my favorite kids that I've kind of been around a long time now. So I would still lean Shaw in that game, but Drew is Drew is a problem.
So
we have Drew ranked as the number 1 player in the state right now for the class of 2025.
Well, Tatum, what's your thoughts here on the bottom half of this bracket, man? Who's coming out? And again, whoever does come out, can they compete with Shaw?
I have not. The only team I've seen is Northside, but I have not seen any of the other teams.
And how is Northside playing, man? With coach coming over there from JS Clark, man, are they playing his normal style, like man-to-man, in your grill, gritty style of basketball? Or what's their style of play?
I couldn't really tell you. I only saw him play once.
I have to see, man. I've been following because Ricks that came over from JS Clark took that job kind of late in the summer. So I'm just interested to see if he was able to kind of get his hands on it and kind of get it to where they want it. But state championship coach, man, won a state title with JS Clark, coaching both boys and girls last year to the top 28, and girls ended up winning a state title. I forgot where the boys finished up, but definitely some really good coaches in this division, man. Some really good coaches, some really good basketball. We're gonna keep it moving, man. Get on down to the next division.
Oh yeah, Jay Dantzler, yeah.
What is this? This is Division 3, non-select. Tatum, you want to take us away on this one, man? You got Madison up top with the bye.
All right, so
Winfield. Go ahead.
I'm taking Madison all the way through on this one. They got a kid, Amarian White, 6'4" guard, but he does everything. He can play in the post. He can shoot the mid-range shot. He shoots the three ball really well. They've got a really tough guard. I don't know what his name is, but I'm taking Madison front to back on this one. They're tough. They play hard. Anybody that has to go to Madison, I took a drive out to Tallulah on a Tuesday night. I didn't realize it was that far, but I drove almost 2 hours, and when I got in the gym, I wasn't disappointed. They beat Carroll.
Wow.
So everybody was talking about Madison. I hadn't seen them. I hadn't watched them play in 2 or 3 years. So I got a chance to see them beat Carroll. I watched them beat Lincoln Prep. And I watched them win against Sterlington also. Really good team, coached really well. They've got kids that are athletic. Everybody on the team understands their role. I'm taking Madison.
What, Josh? What's your thoughts, man, on the top half of Division III non-select?
Yeah, I just have to piggyback on Tatum. I haven't seen any of these teams here. I guess just bouncing back real quick to the last one. Jay Dansley-Hannon is an interesting freshman point guard, and somebody mentioned another kid in the comments that I was familiar with. But yeah, anyway.
Hey, St. Louis look like they got some size, man. So that's definitely a good comment. Again, guys, appreciate all the comments, man. Comment anything you got down below, man. As we continue to grow this thing and have more conversations, it definitely helps, especially once we get down to the smaller classifications. So we're gonna keep it moving, man. Got Richwood down here, Church Point, Ville Platte, man. Some tough places to play at. Tatum, what do you see right here in this bracket, man? Is Richwood the real deal or what?
So I'm going to start out with Mansfield. Mansfield is really dangerous. They had a lot of kids that came over from football, so they got off to a slow start, but Mansfield is really tough. They've got a kid, Bryson Ebarb, that can give you 25 a night. Mansfield is dangerous. But with that being said, Richwood is probably as tough a team as you're going to see. I wish I could remember the kids' names right now. Trey Lane is a 6'5", 6'6" guard that spent a good part of the season hurt. So Richwood looked like they were down while he was hurt, but since he's come back, the kid's been on an absolute tear. Man, I wish I could remember the other kid's name. They got a 6'10" kid, Carter Mason, that protects the rim. If he gets that ball in his hand, he's going to throw it down. I think Richwood is the real deal. I think Richwood will definitely be a team that makes it down south. They got good guards. I mean, Richwood is good from A to Z, 1 to 6. They've got young guys that come off the bench. Richwood is the truth.
Josh, man, have you seen Dawsonville? Man, I haven't seen them. Kind of the only team really kind of down here in this area from that group right there.
Nah, I haven't gotten a chance to see them. It was a few teams in BR I really wish I had gotten to see. It was like Donaldsonville, Bruley, and Central. I didn't get a chance to see Central either. But yeah, this is a part of the bracket I'm not real familiar with. So yeah, I'll just be leaning. I'll roll with whatever Tatum says.
Richwood.
You got
you say Richwood.
Yeah.
On the table.
I love it, man. I mean, you got Dawsonville coming with a couple games win streak. Ville Platte, tough place to play at, man. Definitely going to keep an eye on this part of the bracket, man. But we got some people already chirping about Red River down there, man. We're going to get to them. But first things first, we got the top half of the bottom part of the bracket here. French Settlement, man. Coach Jake, he's on here watching early, man. Not enough can be said about that guy getting it done on both the girls and the boys' side. He's got a quarterfinal game tomorrow with the girls. We'll have a first-round playoff game with the boys on Friday, man. Dude must absolutely live in the gym. His wife must be, an angel in herself. But, man, shout out to French Settlement, man. Josh, have you seen any of these teams here?
I have not.
Got Marksville. Tatum, what about yourself, man? You got anything you can add to this part of the bracket?
I saw Marksville. I saw Marksville in December at Wiseman, but I can't really say much about Marksville. They looked really good, but I don't remember if they won any games when they came up here.
Hey,
So
there you go, man. It's definitely gonna be wide open for sure.
yeah, I do know Union Parish. Union Parish is a tough team. Union is generally known for being a football school.
Yeah.
So when Union shows up, their basketball players look like football players. So, like I said before, if you think you're about to show up for an all-star game, it could turn into a dogfight. So Union is a team that could end up seeing Marksville. One thing I do remember about Marksville, they shot the ball really well, but I don't really know much more about anybody outside of Union Parish.
Guys, let us know in the comments, man, if you got anybody that you think is going to be coming out of this part of the bracket. Hey, I mean, again, looking at French South, man, I've seen them play. That's definitely a good draw then. If it's not too many teams that have been seen, that have been on the radar, especially if you can got a Union Parish or somebody that can upset, that would put them being at home the whole way through. Definitely not a bad draw at all. If I'm French Selman. Now you're looking at Red River. A lot of people in the comments about Red River, man. Red River's got a good fan base. So obviously they'll have some really good games, some home games. They'll have quarterfinal matchups at home the whole way through. Well, either of y'all seen any of the teams in this area, this part of the bracket, man? Is Red River good enough to beat Marksville? I mean,
Red River
I think
is the
somebody
real
commented
deal.
they had last year.
Yeah, Red River is the real deal. I've seen Red River play 3 or 4 games. Red River can literally do everything you want to see a team do on the basketball court. They've got a guard. I can't remember his name right now, but the kid is an absolute bucket. And if he's not scoring the ball, he's facilitating. Coach Williams just said Red River can beat anybody. Red River can beat anybody. Red River is tough like that.
Jaden Wells, I think, is the name that you're looking for that they reached out to.
That's it. And then I've also watched Rayville play. Rayville just beat Neville last Friday. They've got a kid over there, Trinity McDaniels, really good guard. He's a scorer. He can light it up from anywhere. He's a kid. If you think it's about to be an all-star game, he's not going to let up on you. They've got a good young team that coach really well over there. Watch out for Rayville. Rayville should be able to come out in that first round. But if I got to pick somebody, I'm taking Red River in that matchup versus Rayville.
I'll tell you one thing, man. We got to once it gets to this part of the bracket, that Division III non-select, you got some really good fan bases, man. That just the town just lives in the gym, man. The whole town shows up. There's not 10,000 things to do like there is here in New Orleans, man. There's a basketball game on Friday night. Everybody's showing up. Everybody's showing up and showing out, especially as they start to make these runs. So Rayville at Red River, that's going to be a packed house, man. That's going to be a fun one for sure. Josh, man, you got anything you want to add on this part? You want to keep it moving?
Not too much. I'm looking at Red River's schedule though, and like their losses are like really like they've only lost to Captain Shreve, Ruston, Alexandria, Ash, Winfield, and Calvary. So those are pretty good losses in my book.
Hell yeah. Those losses don't even count. That's how I look at it, man. That's how I look at it, man. We're gonna keep it moving, guys.
Get you better.
What was that?
I was saying those are the ones that get you better.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're gonna keep it moving, man. Tuning in to the Calvary Baptist Invitational now, man. Tatum, man, it's a team up in your area. Coach Vic's done a fantastic job, man, over at D3 Select, just building that program out. And everybody's trying to catch him, man. At the end of the day, man, you got Lafayette Renaissance on the rise. Coach Brad Boyd doing a good job over there. Can anybody compete with Calvary Baptist, or what's some matchups that you like over here in this bracket?
I'm gonna go ahead and say I've watched Calvary beat every team in North Louisiana in the worst way. They beat Ruston by 15. I watched them hold Captain Shreve, which is a team that I really enjoy playing, to 13 points. And they can beat you in more than one way. They had a transfer in from Captain Shreve, Jaden Hall, who's one of the best guards in the state, regardless of classification. If nobody's heard of Tyrone Jameson, I don't know where you've been, but the kid is an absolute dog. I call him the boogeyman because it's like he scares kids when he's on the court with him. He is the top 2027 player in the state, and it's because he can do so much, and you can't stop him from doing what he wants to do on the court. They've got another 27 kid over there named Robert, who just picked up an offer from Southern, is going to play EYBL ball this summer. They've got a sniper in Bubba. They've got a kid over there they call G that'll put you in the rim. Like Calvary can literally do whatever they want to in the basketball game. Good luck to anybody trying to figure them out. If you stop Jaden Hall, then TJ is going to kill you. If you stop TJ, then Robert will kill you. If you stop those three, then it'll be Bubba over in the corner, and then they've got what is the kid's name? Ponder. They got a 6'5", 6'6" shooter, Craig Davis, that they're bringing off the bench. I mean, they are good 1 through 8. And look, I went to a Hoop Fest showcase. Mm-hmm. I talked to 3 or 4 2028 kids because they look special. And when I asked them where they were at, they said I go to Calvary. So Vic is locked in. Calvary is set up to win this year and probably for the next 2 to 3 years. Robert Wright is the kid's name. They're set up to win for the next 2 to 3 years. If there's a better team than Calvary Baptist, I haven't watched them play.
I love it, man. Josh, you got anything you want to add to that one?
Yeah, just on TJ, he's a consensus. Well, I guess not. He's a 4-star on 2 websites, and ESPN has him as a 5-star. So pretty definitively the top sophomore in the state.
Absolutely, man. Let's keep it moving, man. Second part of this bracket, you got Rose Pine, you got Newman, bouncing back. Lafayette Christian, maybe they can make some noise. What's your thoughts right here, Josh, on this part of the bracket here?
Newman is the team I'm most familiar with. Randy Livingston Jr. RJ is their point guard. He's a 4-star on a couple recruiting sites, and he's legit. Obviously, the son of Randy Livingston, but there's not much around him. Like honestly, he pretty much he got to put his cape on. To say, like, if he don't have 25, they're not gonna win. And he plays like the whole game. And they're gonna go as far as he can take them. That's pretty much the deal with it. Peyton Foster's another kid that can kind of get hot and give him some really good minutes. But outside of those two, they got a couple other guys that can shoot, and they play hard. And Randy Livingston, again, another one of the top coaches in the state. So, and they beat some pretty good teams. They beat St. Aug. I was there for that game. They beat Catholic NI. So they just kind of find a way, and they'll keep it close. And then RJ will either pull a rabbit out of her head or just kind of figure it out.
Tatum, man, what about you, man? Have you seen any? I don't know. A lot of these teams are kind of down south and more of our area. Have you seen any of these teams? You got anything you want to add here?
I have not seen any of them. I know about the Livingston kid, but I have not seen any of those teams play in person.
Josh, what about like North Lake Christian, Pope John? I'm just assuming neither one of those can compete with Newman at that level.
I don't know.
Rose Pine at the 5 seats, kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these other guys, but I mean, again, like if you can stop RJ, you're gonna have a chance to beat Newman. So that's kind of how I look at it.
I'm trying to look at Rose Pine. They're riding like a 22-game win streak into the playoffs. So they obviously haven't played anybody with the willpower, I guess, or the firepower of RJ. But man, Rose Pine coming in with a 22-game win streak. That'd be like a 25-game win streak whenever they go down to play at Newman. So it gets down to the bottom half. Josh, man, seeing Country Day, I'm sure you've seen them a few times.
Yeah.
what do they got, and can anybody kind of come out and can compete with them in this part of the bracket?
Yeah, Country Day is one of those schools that Country Day in Newman. If a Saints assistant or a coach or a Pelicans assistant or coach, they send their kid to Country Day or Newman. They're going to be on one of those two teams. So Country Day has a Kellen Brewer, who's a Corey Brewer's son, who's an assistant with the Pels. He's a top probably 10ish type 2027 kid. He's probably like 6'4", 6'5", long. Can plays above the rim, can shoot it a little bit, but I really like him when he's getting downhill. When he's like putting pressure on the rim and he's getting up and down the court, that's when he's really at his best. He had a game against Curtis early in the season that's on the channel, and that's the game where you can really see like his potential. He's got a really high ceiling. They got a couple other guys that Herm Dyson. I'm glad I remembered him. He's like a forward, kind of a wing hybrid type of kid, and he just does everything. Like he's a really good passer. He played a little bit with Live On too, but I think he's got a little shoulder injury right now, but he's been playing, and they beat Newman by 20 on the last day of the regular season for the district championship. So they're playing pretty well. Brennan White is another kid that I kind of like on that team. Andrew Nelson, who again is Aaron Nelson's son, Aaron Nelson is one of the trainers for the Pelicans, or was. So they got a pretty good chance to come out of this bracket, I think. Reed is a team I got to see once. I like two of their guards a lot. Destin Love, he's a senior, and Kurt Riley is another one. He's a shooter. I only got to see him once, but you can tell he's a shooter. Yeah, and I forgot Curtis McAllister for Country Day. That's Deuce McAllister's son. And he's a good player. He's a freshman. He'll have a chance to be one of the better freshmen in the state too. And then Reed has a freshman that I like a lot too. His name is Edner Aranda. He's kind of like a wing. He can shoot it a little bit, puts it on the floor some. And then Catholic and Joe, I want to say his last name is Trosclair, but he's like
Joab Trosclair.
Yeah, Trosclair, yeah. He's a legit like 6'9". Like he tried to come on with Live On like for the last tournament, so he played a little bit, and you can kind of see like he's really talented. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I got on that bracket.
Love it, man. Tatum, you got anything you want to add on that one?
No, sir.
Love it, man. Let's keep it moving. That gets us down to the bottom half of this bracket, man. You got the 2 seed sitting down there in Dunham. You got De La Salle again, man. The De La Salle game that's a home game at and on Fat Tuesday. So I don't know how these are going to happen. Country Day's got a home game as well in that last one that we didn't talk about. Just something to keep an eye on, man. I could see some upsets whenever it comes down to having home games in New Orleans on that Tuesday, Monday, whenever it is that they decide to play those games. But Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? I see a lot of these teams are kind of in the more Baton Rouge, New Orleans area. You want to pass this one to Josh? You want to add something?
Well, I'll throw in something on Dunham. So I watched the Dunham game. I don't remember where I watched it at, but I watched the Dunham game when they beat Ash. And I've watched a couple more games. But Dunham is a complete team. They play really good team ball. They move the ball really well. They shoot the ball really well. And I can't remember the name of their guard, but they've got a really good guard over there. That's him.
I think that's who you're probably talking about.
Yep. They got him. And then Elijah Haven.
Yeah.
So Dunham is a team that I expect. I know I jumped up and down about Calvary, but Calvary got to beat Dunham.
I love it, man. I love it. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? You want to add something in there?
Yeah, Dunham probably the favorite in here. Elijah Haven, top quarterback in the nation for 2027. And he's just a physical force, like on the court. He's probably a legit 6'5", like strong, really mature kid too. So they kind of play through him for the most part, but they got a pretty deep team. I kind of like them. De La Salle, they're still kind of young, but they got three kids that I really, really like. Levon Gibson is a junior. He's like a 6'4"-ish type of wing. He can really shoot it. I want to say he's had like a little stretch of 20-point games here. Then they've got 2 young kids, Manny Young is a 2027 kid. He's a point guard, really shifty, really quick, and he can really, really heat up. There's another one I've been watching him since he was younger with Live On. And Chase Barker is the third or second or first kid. Sometimes he really can fill it up too. I think he's had a couple 30-point games recently, and I saw them beat Landry. So De La Salle, they can be kind of up and down, but they'll have a chance.
I like it, man. I like it. Again, guys, if you haven't already, man, make sure you subscribe to Josh's YouTube channel, man. I'll post that down there in a bit, man, and give Mr. Tatum a follow as well on his social media links. I'll follow up with that and shoot that in the text as well. We're gonna keep it moving, man. You got Division 4 non-select Vinton, man. That's a name that you don't ever see on the girls' side. At least you haven't seen on that side in quite some time. White Castle, man, bringing out that brand new gym, man. Shout out to them. That's going to be a fun home game right there. They'll have a quarterfinal game with the girls tomorrow, then have a first-round home game in that, again, beautiful gym over there. Have y'all seen some teams in this area, man, as we start getting a little lower in the classification, may get a little bit more difficult? Again, guys, comment anything you got below and let us know. Donald, man, what's your thoughts right here, Division 4 non-select?
I have not seen any of these teams. I know that Homer is tough, but I haven't seen anybody play.
Josh, what about you?
Here. Yeah, same here. I haven't seen any of these teams, unfortunately.
Hey guys, again in the comments, man, just keep us going, man. Let us know if you got anything you want to add in here. We'll kind of ping pong back and forth. Again, we get down to Division 4 in the non-select area. What about right here? Any of these teams? This is more Lake Charles, Lafayette area. Either you guys see any of them?
I've watched Arcadia play 4 or 5 games. Arcadia is tough. They got a new coach. He's been with the school for a while, but he's got those boys playing really tough. They just lost in overtime or double overtime to Lincoln Prep last week. I've watched them play Minden really tough. They've got a 6'5", 6'6" kid with a crazy motor. Arcadia is tough. They're tough. They coach really well. If you know anything about Arcadia, just like the girls, Arcadia will sneak in and win a state championship every 4 or 5 years. So I would never bet against Arcadia, and I think right now I haven't seen Faraday, but Arcadia is tough.
Love it, man. Josh, about any of these teams?
Yeah, I would just go with Tatum here. I am not familiar with this group.
Yeah, it gets a little smaller in these classifications. Yeah. Again, guys, anybody in the comments, man, let us know. Vinton is very well coached. They will not beat themselves. Definitely a great comment. Coach Jake saying that Faraday to beat Madison. That is definitely good insight as well. Or he said, or he's saying he thinks Faraday did beat Madison. That's a very good win then, if that's the case. We're getting down to Lakeview. Tatum, have you seen Lakeview? He said
I have not seen.
Man, that's huge.
I saw Lakeview a year ago, but I haven't seen them this year.
You got North Central. Again, another tough place to play at. South Plaquemines. Josh, you seen any of these guys?
No, not this group. I know North Central is typically a really gritty team, tough type of team. And I guess just on the last one, Faraday did not beat Madison. They lost to him twice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What was the score on that? Did you look it up? That's a good ball right there. See where.
The first one was 45-65. The second one, which was more recent, was 66-72.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good measuring stick for sure. But yeah, man, we'll just keep it moving, man. Again, guys, anybody in the comments, man, feel free to comment anything. Definitely helps us out, continues to grow. Hey, we all here together, growing this together, and we appreciate all the comments. Any knowledge you can do and share with us will definitely help. Haynesville, Montgomery, Ringgold, all with home games. Anybody seen anything here? Somebody commented Lakeview, state runner-up last year, really good guard play. That's definitely a good comment. Definitely good insight there.
So I've seen Haynesville. Haynesville is really tough. I saw Ringgold. Ringgold pushed Lincoln Prep to an overtime game a couple of weeks ago. So Ringgold is going to be really tough. Jonesboro Hodge is playing a lot better recently. So Jonesboro Hodge could give Montgomery a little bit of trouble.
What else? Josh, you see any of these?
Nah, I rotate him here.
We're getting outside. We're getting outside the
Yeah, outside our coverage areas.
for
yeah.
sure. Crescent City, man.
Here we go.
Now he's back on it. Now he's back on it, man.
Yeah.
Division 4 select side, man. Josh, go ahead and take it away with us for this part half. Top half. What about Martin Luther King Charter, man? Shout out to them.
Yeah, I hadn't seen MLK this year. I was kind of keeping a little bit of an eye on. They were kind of a team like Reed, while I wanted to see him, but didn't get the chance to check him out. But Crescent City, team I'm super familiar with. They won state last year. Yeah, they won state last year.
They did.
Yeah, Dwight McGee is like one of the most fun players you will watch from any school at any time. Like he hasn't been probably quite as explosive this year, but last year I saw him get 30 probably 5 or 6 times in like big games. He's a small guard. He might be like 5'9", 5'10", but he is off the bounce with it. An elite shooter. He's the spearhead of the team. And just a really infectious type of personality too. Big smile. Love watching him. Isaiah Stevens is another kid. He's the guard alongside Dwight, and he can really play too. I think he'll have a chance to play somewhere in college. Cameron James, big wing. He's probably like 6'5", 6'6".
He can shoot it.
Yeah, he can shoot it a little bit if he gets hot, and if he gets on a break, he'll put one down. And then Kenneth Malarshaw is their big, and he just kind of does a lot of the dirty work for him. I'm not quite sure what's going on with their coaching situation. I know Coach Russ, I think last year was his first year and they won state. Well, it might have been his second year, but when I caught up with him maybe like a couple months ago, I think he had a family issue. So, and when I saw him a couple weeks ago, he wasn't at the game. So I'm not sure what that situation is, and maybe that can kind of maybe be a hiccup for him. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. Tatum, got anything you want to add to that one, or you want to keep it moving?
I agree with the information about the Stevens kid. So I follow Crescent City. My son went to Lincoln Prep, so I keep up with Lincoln Prep, and Crescent City broke our heart last year. So that was my first time seeing Dwight McGee in Crescent City, and I've been following them ever since. So whenever they play, I actually watched the game that they lost to Calvary Baptist. I think they lost by 1 or 2 off a play at the end of the game. So Crescent City, for them to be able to play Calvary the way that they did, and seeing how Calvary did some of the other teams up here, they got to be tough.
And Crescent City was close with Liberty too. They lost 49-44. Honestly, I didn't go to that game because I didn't think it was going to be that close, but they found a way.
Wow, that's big right there. Just to be in that conversation, especially how small the school they got. Man, and we got Hamilton Christian. Man, it seems like every year they got it just enough to kind of get right in that conversation. Is this a year where they got enough to make it back to the top 28? Vermilion Catholic with a bye as well. Tatum, man, have you seen Hamilton Christian? If so, what they got, man? Do they got enough?
The only team that I saw in this bracket is Cedar Creek. And Cedar Creek was rolling, but they lost their best player. He broke both of his elbows, and broke both of his elbows in game, and he's out for the season. I think he was averaging 23 or 24 points a game. He was a kid that transferred from Ruston, really special ball player. Just kid had everything, and it was a tough one. But Cedar Creek is the only team that I've seen up here, and without him, it's gonna be tough for him.
Josh, what about you, man? Have you seen Hamilton Christian or Vermilion Catholic?
I have not, and not familiar with any of the players on these either. So
I know Hamilton Christian's got some talent, man. I just haven't seen them this year.
yeah, I feel like Hamilton Christian has a player or two that I would know, but it's not coming to me right now.
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Guys, listen on the comments, man. Again, any information definitely helps out. Just kind of keeping the conversation going, getting it started. We're getting down to the bottom half of the bracket, man. Got Southern Lab, Ascension Catholic, again, both the buys. Have either of y'all seen Southern Lab this year? If so, can they compete with Crescent City?
I have not seen Southern Lab. I will look up that schedule real quick. Maybe something will kind of give me a feel. But no, I haven't seen any of these other teams in here.
Yeah, Hamilton Christian's got an all-around athlete in Javon.
Okay, Madison Prep.
Players.
Southern Lab played Madison Prep pretty close. It looks like they had a 51-61 loss. They were close with Dunham too, 59-62.
If they barely lost to Wiseman, then they got to be tough.
Yeah, they were close with Scotlandville here too. Liberty looks like the only team that handled them pretty good. So,
and it's crazy. Generally, I can find information about Southern Lab, a game or something, but I can't find anything about Southern Lab. I generally will be able to find some games, but nothing on Southern Lab.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We got Lincoln Prep, man. You talked about them earlier, man. Crescent City breaking the heart, man. Can Lincoln Prep get revenge? Is this a revenge tour right here, man? Again, you got J.S. Clark. Was in the mix last year, back in it kind of with a bye here. Tatum, man, what you seeing in the bottom half of the bracket?
It's the Lincoln Prep Invitational. It's the Lincoln Prep Invitational. So I watched Lincoln Prep beat. I watched them beat Richwood. I watched them play Neville really close. Lincoln Prep is a tough team. They defend. It literally looks like they have 6 kids out there on the court. Lincoln Prep is one of the tough teams. It's the toughest team that I get to watch. They have a kid, Joseph Spann, defends really well, can shoot the ball from anywhere on the court. 6'2", kid literally does everything. But 1 through 5, I think I'm picking Lincoln Prep coming out of this bracket.
Josh, what about you, man? You seen any of these guys?
No, I remember St. Martin's from last year, but I think they lost a good bit of guys. Like they had a few seniors, and I think those guys are gone. So I guess that's why they're having some struggles down there at 18. But they're in there, they're in the mix. So we'll see what they can do.
Absolutely.
So my brother jumped in and said something about Lincoln Prep being on a head-on collision with Southern Lab. So here, Lincoln Prep was Grambling High, but we've had some of the best players in the state come through Grambling High. 4 or 5 guys go play pro ball, but every time they made it down south, they always lost to Southern Lab. So this will be a big deal if we get the opportunity to see Southern Lab in the semis.
Oh man, that'd be fun, man. That'd definitely be fun. We got Class B and Class C left. Again, guys, everybody joining us, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Keep the comments coming, especially as we get down to these lower classifications. The more comments, more information, more feedback we can get. It's 384 teams in basketball on the boys' side, so it's kind of hard to keep up with all 384. But all the comments definitely help out. We're going to do our best to rock and roll through Class B and Class C. Either of you guys seen any of these teams? No, Lacassine is freaking rolling, man. They're I'm not sure what their win record is, but they lost their first game of the year and then haven't lost since, man. So they haven't lost since. Their last loss comes November 8th, so haven't lost then. Any feedback, any information? What y'all's thoughts on the top half of this bracket, man? It looks like Lacassine is just rolling.
I haven't seen any of these teams.
Yeah, nor have I. Lacassine's gonna roll.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't lost since November 8th, it doesn't look like they're really dodging anybody. They're playing 3A, 5A teams as well. It's pretty tough, man. Catch me if you can. Going to be a good game. DeGree versus Stanley. Okay, that'd definitely be a good insight. Let us know if they have set a date on that one. I haven't seen a date set on that one. So we're moving on down to the next one, man. Silsboro, Hicks, Doyline. Anybody seen any of these games? Any of these teams here?
So I've seen Doylean. Doylean is really tough. I think they should play Hicks. That's going to end up being a really good game. Doylean is really tough.
Is it Doylean or
Um,
Doylean? Is Doylean?
Doylean.
Dang, man, I've been
That's
saying
news
that
to
all
me.
my whole life.
Doylean.
I would have definitely said Doylean. All right.
I guess
Yeah,
we got Doyle down here, so I just see Doyle first, and then I see
Yeah,
Line. I guess. So,
Doylean is really good. I think that'll be a good matchup versus Hicks. And then Simsboro is a team that I get to watch play. Simsboro is a team that runs. They run and they get the ball up. They've got 4 shooters on that team. I was in the gym a couple weeks ago for the district championship, and they had a kid hit 8 3-pointers in the second half of the ball game.
Ooh.
They've got 4 legit shooters over there. They lost some games earlier in the season. Their point guard got hurt, but he came back, and I don't think they've lost a game since then. So Trumarian Smith is his name. So watch out for Trumarian Smith. He's a kid that grew 4 or 5 inches over the summer. So I think he went from like 5'5" to 5'10", 5'11". He put on some weight. So he's a point guard. He's a kid that can absolutely – he can go out there and score, or he can go out there and facilitate. I'm taking I actually think Simsboro is going to be able to pull it out and come out of this bracket.
okay. I mean, we got a lot of Royals Chargers fans in the building, man. They saying they calling it 3-peat already, man. Who are they gonna play in the semis is the question that we're looking at right here, man. You got Zwali, they're a 3 seed. They got the bye. Equipment's got a home game there in the quarterfinals. Any of y'all seen any of these teams here? Winner of this will probably play at Royals.
I've seen Zawali. Zawali has got Preston Sanders. I know the kid has an offer from Grambling. He can do everything on the basketball court. He's strong. He'll get on the rim. He can shoot from anywhere. And I've also seen Quitman. Quitman shoots the ball really well. They're a feisty team. I saw Quitman lose to Zawali early in the season. So if I got to go with anybody, I'm taking Zawali on this one.
There you go, man. That was a 2-point game, man. That's gonna be an interesting rematch for sure, man. 2-point game rematch in the quarterfinals with a shot to go on to Lake Charles. And then go down to the bottom half right here. Got a Boyles, got Pickin, Glenmore. I heard Glenmore's playing some really good basketball right now. Yeah, it's just a tough draw that they got 15 seed, and then they turn around and got to play with Boyles in the second round. Josh, you seen anybody right here? Tatum, man, what's y'all's thoughts?
I've seen Avoye Public Charter, and I saw them play Madison Prep last year. I watched them beat Bossier. I watched them beat Huntington in the summer. Avoye Public Charter, I don't know how they ended up at number 2, but Avoye Public Charter is a team. If I had to make a bet, I'd put all the chips on APC.
So that you got them over Lackassine, and then you heard it here first.
Give me Avoye Public Charter over Lackassine.
Yes, sir. You heard it here first, man. I love it, man. Josh, you got any arguments to that, man?
No. I got nothing. I used to pronounce Zawali Zwol. I thought it was Zwol for a long time.
The only reason I know it's Zawali is because they known for their tamales, and I lived in Leesville for a little while, so they used to sell tamales for fundraising. So give me some Zawali tamales.
Right.
Yes, sir.
They're always at state, so they always in the mix. So I would guess I'll see them again in the semis championships.
Heck yeah, man. Look, let's get it down to Class C, man. Last but not least, got Pleasant Hill, got Reeves, man. Reeves is producing some talented basketball players on the boys and girls side right now. Again, another program that's going to host a quarterfinal girls game tomorrow. Then they'll host a first round boys game on Friday. Man, just says a lot about that area, a lot about that program on both sides. Either y'all seen anybody on the Class B side to kind of keep an eye out on?
Pleasant Hill. Pleasant Hill has got a kid, Javante Ford, one of the best 2026 players in the state. I've watched him play with Pleasant Hill. I watched him play in the summer. I watched him at a showcase, and I actually got the opportunity to see him in the gym working out. Just popped up in the gym, and the kid was in there working. Javante Ford from Pleasant Hill is the real deal. Anybody that's going to win in this division has got to go through him in Pleasant Hill.
I love that, man. I love it, man. Let's get it moving down to the next part. You got Family Christian. Josh, have you seen them? That's probably the closest team, man. Maybe I don't know. It's did Phoenix make it? Where's Phoenix at?
Right, that's what I was looking for.
Oh, they're on the bottom side.
That's the only-
They're next. They're next up. Giles got them at the 6th seed, so they got a bye. They'll have a home game. Man, I want to go out on record again, man. I said this with the girls broadcast. For lack of a better words, man, this is bullshit, man. The 16 seed gets a home game, but you look at the 12 seeds got to go on the freaking road. So the 12 seed does not get a home game in Class B and C. So 13, 14, 15, and 16 get a home seed, right? If we're looking at student athlete experience, which I think most of us are, why the hell does a 13, 14, 15, and 16 get a home game, but 12 gets to skip their home game? They got to go on the road. I just think there's something that's got to be had. You got to either let less teams in and just kind of run it where everybody gets a bye. There's no way 16 seed should get a home game whenever Hackberry 12's got to go on the road. Like, I would rather be a 13 seed where Marpaw's at. I'd rather have a home game where I'm at, where Marpaw right here, and then go on the road to Family Christian. But instead, Hackberry, you get a bye. Congratulations, but you also get gypped out of a home game. Anyways, that's my rant for the night, man. Y'all got anything on this part of the bracket, man?
I haven't seen any of them.
So you got Pleasant Hill. A lot
either.
of people talking about Pleasant Hill for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's keep it moving, man. We got Phoenix down there, man. Again, shout out to Giles, man. Giles doing a fantastic job coaching both boys and girls. Him and Jake, man, are just freaking angels, man. Saints for sure, man. To be able to coach both boys and girls at a high level and to be making it to the first, second round of playoffs, man, is very, very impressive. Have you got a chance to see them at all this year, Josh, or anybody else in this part of the bracket?
Nah, Phoenix. I'm familiar with them, but I haven't seen them. I pulled up the schedule real quick, and they beat Douglas to end the year, so that's a pretty solid win. And I am a little bit like I've kind of seen stuff about Rondell Battle. Again, I haven't laid eyes on them, but I've been hearing about him for a while. And with the stats that they have on Max Preps, I'm gonna say him just because they took the time to put in stats. And they got him with 31.5 in 13 games this year, and averaged 25 last year in 28 games. So I think he'll be a player to watch out for. And I don't know. Hopefully they get far enough, and I can see him in semis.
We got a lot of people talking about Gibbs Coleman.
Let's just go ahead and call it the Gibbs Invitational then.
So I guess I won't see Phoenix.
Look, so Gibbs Coleman is a team that I've got the opportunity to watch. I watched them push Minden. I watched them beat Lincoln Prep. I watched them play Ruston really tough. They've got two kids up. Well, I mean, really, they have a really good team. But the kids that push the Gibbs Coleman train are DeMarcus and DeAvery Durham. One of them, they call him Juicy. If anything is coming off the rim, the kid is dunking. He may be the most athletic kid that I've seen, I mean, really all year. He might be 5'11", but back scratch dunks, you name it, however you want it. And then the kid that plays alongside him is one of the fastest players in the state. You'll see him at state for track, but Gibbs Coleman is probably they're one of the most dangerous teams in this division. And look, and that Gibbs Coleman is down there every year. And if we want to talk about something, Gibbs Coleman is the team that I felt like got robbed a couple of years ago when they called the big man for hanging on the rim.
Oh, that was wild. I remember that. That was wild.
Absolutely. So
it definitely puts a little chip on the shoulder for sure, man.
Absolutely. Gibson is there every year, the boys and the girls. So I'm taking Gibson on that one.
Hey, we got Matt Thompson right here commenting that Plainview's tough, man. Plainview has got something to say about Gibson in the semis possibly. Have any of y'all had a chance to check any of these teams out? Most of these teams are kind of outside of our area. Plainview's doing a great job on the girls' side. I definitely know that. They've been a team that's been around. They definitely carry a huge win streak into the playoffs. Either of y'all seen any of these guys?
I haven't seen them.
Nah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 20-game win streak that Plainview carries into the next round. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that one. Look, man, we had a comment right here, man. Somebody talking about, man, this is dope and cool to look ahead at the games, man. Definitely be tuned in. And that's all it is, man. We're trying to get the conversation started and trying to get the conversation going, man. So, look, really appreciate you guys for jumping on with us. Appreciate all the comments, man. Tatum, man, and Josh, man, really appreciate y'all. Can y'all go ahead and plug your socials one more time, man? Tatum, give me your socials. Let them know where they can kind of find you and keep up with you and everything you got going on.
So give me a follow on Instagram, Donald.Tatum73. Hey, look, my DMs are always open. If you got a kid that I should be trying to follow, send me the kid's information. Send me the kids' Instagram. If there's a big-time game coming up, if y'all got a big tournament or anything going on, just let me know. I travel. I love the game. I'm always in the gym. I hate that I haven't seen a lot of this. I hate that I haven't seen a lot of these teams and a lot of the kids, but I'm going to be out there trying to see everybody.
Absolutely, man. Josh, man, let him know again, man. We're trying to get that. That man's got 19,000 subscribers on YouTube. With 3,000 videos. Like I didn't even know YouTube could hold that many videos in one YouTube channel, man. So the man's getting it done, man. Let them know where they can find you at, Josh.
Yeah, fortunately they've got like an endless database, but it's just Josh Preston's Video Vault. You can probably just search Josh Preston on YouTube. It'll probably pull up the page. And it's J Preston Sports on all socials. That's TikTok, Twitter. I do not call it X, Twitter, Instagram, all of that good stuff. So yeah, just drop a subscription. If you would choose to, you can join and be a member. I put the full games out for my members, and it's the first one that goes up. It's no ads, and then I'll come with the highlights maybe a day or two after. But a great way to just kind of support independent videographer, content creator, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. Amen, man. You don't get enough credit, man. You don't get enough credit for sure. Look, man, I appreciate everybody for joining on, man. If you haven't already, man, like the page, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We will definitely be back live with the girls live broadcast tomorrow, and we're gonna go back live with the girls on Sunday to recap the Final Fours, man. If you two guys are available on Sunday, man, we would love to run it back and do the second round breakdown as well as we kind of look ahead to some deeper matchups, man. Talk a little bit more about more matchups individually. So we'll kind of keep everything posted, man. I'll get back with you guys, and we'll let it go, man. Y'all want to leave us any closing remarks, man?
Hey, parents, players, sign up for the Prep Hoops platform. Promote your player. Tell them to put their name and all of their important information on their social media.
Yes.
I love to scout kids, but I hate looking for them on social media.
Strapani 1224. I can't remember that name.
Half of the kids I don't know because I can't find them.
Yes, put your name.
I love it, dude. Cool, man. Look, man, appreciate y'all, man. Again, man, y'all giving up two hours of y'all's night, man. I really appreciate that, man. And like at the end of the day, man, it's two good guys right here that are in it for the right reasons, man. So make sure we support those that support us, man. Appreciate y'all, man. And we'll circle back, man. We'll circle back in a couple of days, man. Good luck to everybody in the playoffs. Y'all enjoy it, man. It happens fast, man, because second round's going to be here before you know it. Quarterfinals will be here next week. State championships in 2 weeks. So good luck to everybody. Safe travel.